Okay, Coach. Great win, victory last week up at Dartmouth. Let's first talk about your thoughts after that game.
Feeling good coming back from the game. Obviously, we won the game, but we were able to come back and win it at the end, something that we've struggled to do in recent weeks and even over the past year. So it was nice to be able to stay in a game like that and then win it at the end.
And, of course, the big buzz going around. Let's talk about your freshman quarterback. And before we do that, I've heard like 15 different pronunciations of his last name. So first off, let's get that out of there. It's Peter
Pujols is how I pronounce it, and I think I'm pretty close to that.
He was outstanding. Counted for 4 touchdowns, 2 passing, 2 rushing. Talk about the added dimensions that he brings to your offense.
Well, he's a dual threat. Anytime you have a dual threat quarterback that can run the ball, run the option type things, and as well as throw it the way he can, presents unique challenges to the defense. It changes how you pressure the quarterback in passing situations, how you defend the run. It's like defending an extra player is what it amounts to. In a traditional offense, the quarterback hands the ball off to a running back, and he's no longer part of the play. When you use the option stuff, the edge read option type things people use out of the shotgun these days, it just adds another person that you have to defend. It makes it very difficult. And secondly, the ability to do either one in any down and distance makes it even more difficult to defend.
And certainly you knew about his speed and capabilities on that part of the offensive side of football early on because you had him in certain packages where you would rush. But talk about how he's picked up, the passing game and his efficiency there.
He picked up our offensive system very quickly, as fast as I've ever seen anyone do that. But it takes some time to put that together and be able to execute against a college level defense. And you're seeing different things every week, so you're only getting 1 week at a time to prepare for a specific offense. So it just took him a couple of weeks to get more comfortable with those things, in particular in the passing game, being able to read coverages, deliver the ball to the right receiver, and know exactly how to place the ball and things like that. So he was picking it up very quickly, but then refined those skills over the last several weeks.
And obviously it takes a special person because, as you alluded to just a few moments ago, and others have, he's not a redshirt freshman. He's a true freshman coming in here. Tell us a little bit about his background, how many years he played in high school, and even as much as you can tell us about recruiting him.
Yeah, he was an unusual case because he didn't play as a junior much at the quarterback position. He rotated in at receiver. He only got to play about 2 or 3 plays a game as quarterback, so he only had his senior year. He's a 1-year starter. We had the luxury of seeing him in our summer camp before his senior year, and that really was the big part of our evaluation. But just seeing him early season back up what we saw from a physical standpoint, perform in a game situation. So we decided to offer him, and it was great to get him. He committed, I think it was late September, early October last year, so he was in the fold early, and that quarterback position was sewn up pretty quickly for us. So he was a great talent. He just didn't have a lot of experience. Played at a powerhouse high school out in the Chicago area, and that's to be expected. You go to a really good high school, sometimes you don't get to play till your senior year.
Do you think that that's one of those things, though, where maybe it was fortunate that he hadn't had as much exposure out there for other bigger schools to pick up on?
Yeah, I mean, it could have worked in our favor. He did get some notoriety as the season went along, and he was highly recruited. He did have some FBS as well as other FCS offers before it was all said and done.
Tell me about, when that first moment when you guys had him here, during the summer preseason camp, when you're like, wow, I think he could make an impact, and soon.
We traditionally test our freshmen in some speed and strength tests on the first day of practices. In fact, we take some time out of the allotted practice time to do it just so we get a more accurate feel of where they are. And he performed very, very well. His 40 time was exceptional, and that just opened our eyes even more. We knew he was fast, we knew he was athletic, but seeing how fast he actually could run at that point was eye-opening for us, and we knew that he was going to be a major problem for people to defend.
All right, so not only Peter that you're getting the impact from, but also other freshmen, and we've talked about this throughout the season, but really you have to be pleased with what you're getting, whether it's out of a linebacker like Kyle Young or another receiver who caught a touchdown pass, Jake Wyzorek last week, or a tight end like Nicolaisen, who makes his impact from time to time, or Gabe Guild and another running back, Brendan Flaherty. So how pleased are you with the impact you're getting out of those young players?
Very pleased, and you never know how quickly freshmen can come in and make an impact. All of those players we thought were guys that had the capabilities of doing that. And some of the other guys that are not necessarily getting on the field right now, we think are going to be impact players. It's just certain positions it takes even longer. For example, offensive line, it just takes longer to adjust to build the physical maturity as well as the experience. But those guys in the skill positions were able to come in quickly and make an immediate impact. Some were helped by the injuries in front of them and put them in a position to win the spot. And others just, their ability took over soon after they got here. But they've made a huge impact on our program already, and the future looks really bright with them in it.
All right, turn the page this week. Harvard coming into Fitton Field. What can we expect out of them? They're always a tough test for you.
They're always a tough team. I mean, since Coach Murphy has taken over there, they've been consistently good. We've been very successful against them, playing them in Fitton Field, at Fitton Field in Worcester. We haven't been able to beat them over there in Cambridge in quite a while, but we're hoping the trend at home continues. But it's going to be a challenge. They're an experienced team, a very talented team. They really have no weaknesses, so we're going to have to play well in all three phases and execute our offense, defense, and special teams.
A difficult loss to them last year. They beat you up pretty good down at their place, so that's still got to stay with you a little bit.
It sticks with me, and I'm sure it sticks with our players. We played them at a time where the injury bug really hit us, and we had some inexperience. It was a pouring rain that night. It just seemed like everything hit us at once. But they were a good team last year, and they really took it to us. And obviously, I remember that very well, and that provides some extra motivation.
All right, and quickly, one last note. We were just talking before we started here. You're at 2-3 now. But tell me a little bit about the attitude of your team and how you feel about this team, because you mentioned now just before they went down and got that game-winning drive, kick a field goal, they pull out the 3-point victory against Dartmouth. You kind of had confidence that they were going to do that.
I was very confident we were able to move the ball. I think the first half we were a little shaky. We weren't clicking all the time offensively, and we were doing some things defensively that were out of character. We were not playing the calls and things like that. As the game progressed, our guys just started trusting the calls, trusting each other, and we started clicking a lot better offensively. So by the time we got the ball back with 6 minutes to go in the game, I was very confident we were going to be able to move the ball. I actually started thinking after we got a couple first downs, I actually started thinking how we can conserve the clock. I was so confident, and our players went out and they played with a lot of confidence. That was really nice to see, and I think that impacts the team overall, not just the offense. I think it impacts the overall team, knowing that we can take the ball down the field at the end to win it. That gives us a lot of confidence moving forward.
All right, Coach. Well, we look forward to we'll have the game on Charter TV3 this Saturday at 1, and should be a good one against Harvard. And look forward to catching up with you at halftime as well for some witty commentary coming off the sideline.
All right, Dave. Thanks. I'm looking forward to it.
Coach, thanks a lot.